Good afternoon or good morning, whichever class you're in. This video is going to go over placing your lighting. Hopefully you have watched the video about deciding how many lights that go in a room, and just as a general rule of thumb, you're always going to have more lights in a room than you really need anyway. But just kind of knowing the formula and kind of getting an idea of how many lights should be in a room kind of gives you something to sort of a foundation to base your lighting plans off of. Okay. Now, of course, one thing you want to do is you want to make sure that your lighting is placed symmetrically. Everything is lined up and it looks pretty. That certain things are centered for certain reasons, and then other things are maybe off-centered for whatever reason. And I'm going to show you that on this living room right here. So I am going to model some light fixtures to go in this living room, not necessarily model them, just place the models that I already have. And in doing so, I'm going to hide this sofa for the moment. Okay, so I'm going to right click on it, and I'm going to go up here, and it says, let's see, hide in view elements. So I'm going to click on that and hide it. That way I'll be able to work a lot easier and get those light fixtures placed, and then can come back and turn that back on. All right. So what we want to do, let's say a ceiling fan is one thing that you want in your living room. Most people do. Revit does not have any ceiling fans, so you have to go to a place called Revit City and download one. Revit City, you just simply type revitcity.com or just Revit City in your toolbar or in your address bar, and you'll find that. Now, Revit City is a site that I use a lot. There are other sites out there as well, so don't just get stuck on this one. Look at some other sites as well. And even though I'm downloading some things from here, I don't, again, want to get stuck on finding that specific model that I want. Chances are you're not going to find it anyway. There's so many different models of ceiling fans, light fixtures, and whatever else you can name. Typically what you want to use these for are placeholders for the actual light fixtures and or ceiling fans that you really do want to use. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to find some items that are similar to what I need, and I have to do the ceiling fan because Revit doesn't have a ceiling fan. So I'm going to go to downloads. Once I do sign up, you'll have to sign up for an account if you don't have one. Usually there is a join link right up here that you can click on. So you would join it, and you would use your school email address, is what I suggest. And also what they'll do is they'll send you a link to activate your account. Make sure that you look in your spam folder or your deleted emails folder. All those other folders are trash folders, I think they call some of them. But look in those folders for the email that they send you with the link to activate your account, because that's typically where it ends up. Okay, so once you activate it, then you can come in here, you can sign in, and then actually go to downloads and look for this little thing up here rolling around. So I click downloads once and it's rolling. This website is a little bit slow. Okay, so I don't want to sit here and just continually click until things happen like I want them to happen. That's a way to crash your internet browser. It's harmful to the computer, and it really just makes things run a lot slower. So, click on something and then go up here and see, make sure that it is operating, and then just go from there. Okay, so I am going to type in ceiling fan, and I can use any ceiling fan that I see on here because it's just a placeholder that I want. Here's kind of a retro look ceiling fan, and by all means, if you do see the ceiling fan that you like and you really want to use that one, then go ahead and use it. But don't get hung up searching for them for days and days and days on end. I'll tell you more about that later. But I'm going to go ahead and download now, and as you see, it downloads over here on the bottom left corner. This is in Chrome. Make sure you're using Chrome to do these downloads with, because they will not download in Edge, or usually they don't. Sometimes they do, but a lot of times they don't. So use Chrome and download, and then click on the download itself. This is going to open the download, and you're going to get this alert here to upgrade the model. And yes, you'll want to go ahead and upgrade the model because most of these models are a couple of years older than the program that you're currently using. Okay, so there is my retro looking ceiling fan. Of course, I want to use this in my job, so I'm going to click on load into project and close. Okay, and my sofa was about right here. I'm actually going to place this fan central to the television and the electric fireplace, and then kind of in the center of the room. I might want to move it a little bit later. Boom. Okay, so I've got that ceiling fan in place, and luckily it placed while I was on level 1, which is where you want to be to start off with. Sometimes you get these models, and it really depends on how the model was actually made as to how you can place it and if you can see it after you place it. So you have to play around with it. Sometimes you have to go to level 1, sometimes you have to go to ceiling plan level 1. And then, of course, there's been times where I've had to use some of these other plans in order to see and or place my ceiling fan fixture. Okay, so for now, I am going to hit the escape button. I'm done with that. And what I want to do next is go to the, I want to put some recess cans. Recess cans are very popular. As well. They have a lot of LED recess cans and even LED surface lights. A lot of your LEDs are going to be surface mount because they take up so little space as well. Here's a round LED, and it's going to look almost like a can light, but it's not going to be recessed into the ceiling. It's just going to be surface mounted. The electronics that go in there are really small. But you can get these down like recess cans that will actually hold a LED light bulb. So I'm going to click on that recess can, click open. Now I'm going to go over here to my type selector, and I see that I have a 6-inch incandescent 120 volt. And that's okay. I don't want to use incandescent, but I'll just annotate that later on my plan. Okay, and let's see, you also have other choices. You have a 8-inch choice as well, and it's 120 volts, which is the one you want to choose for your design. But I'm going to stick with the 6-inch. And I'm going to come in here and make a sort of a placement of one, let's see, about 2, and then we'll put a third one right in the middle. All right, and then I'm going to go here, kind of do the same. I want to kind of get them lined up as best I can. If not, I can actually mirror those. So I can like, whoops, I got to turn on, no, selection is on. Okay, well, anyway, I got those 3 placed. Just for time's sake, let me go ahead and place another 3. I think I can get these lined up. If not, I will go back later and make sure they're all evenly aligned. And right now, it's not giving me any reference. So I definitely want to check on that later. Okay, so that is the essence to placing your light fixtures. You want to do that in all of your different rooms, you know, even your kitchen. And of course, your kitchen, you might want to go with a little bit brighter lighting display. But go through your design, your personal design, and, you know, set the lighting for all of your rooms. And then I'll come back on the next video and show you how to put switches out. You'll need to have switches located on the walls, so those switches will indicate which light fixtures are controlled by that light switch, and we draw wires to them. It's very important that we do that because it tells the electricians which light fixtures we want to be controlled by which switch. Click here to pause.